Hey y'all, welcome to the Beautiful Awakening Podcast. I'm your host Maya, and today we are going to talk about childhood trauma. Now let me just say, hold on. Let me just say this. When it comes to childhood trauma, well, first let me talk about it. So, of course, trauma is things that have happened to you in your childhood that may have happened at an early age, even in your teenager years that just really sat with you and you didn't know what to do. You didn't know how to deal with that. So you started to base your personality off of that. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Pretty much. Look, I just agree with myself. That's pretty much what it is. So when it comes to childhood trauma, oh my goodness, I have definitely experienced it. I even feel like even if it's not more towards this extreme childhood trauma, like rape and molestation and just abuse, just regular physical abuse. There are other forms of mistreatment and trauma that people go through, like traumatically losing someone, losing a parent, being ripped away from their home, being in foster care, not having a stable home, having your parents yell at you. There are a lot of different levels of childhood trauma that we all experience, and it really just depends on the person, how they interpret that. I can definitely say for myself, I grew up with daddy issues, and I'm going to be 100% honest about that. I did. My dad was in jail from the time I was conceived until I was 8.5, and then he was shot when I was 14. So I really didn't have a long history of having my father inside of my home, but even over the years that he was in jail, I went to go see him all the time, so we did have a relationship. And when he got out for a few years, we did have a relationship. It was just so traumatic on how he transitioned. It did a lot of things to me. For one, it really fucked up my mentality when it came to knowing what was real and what wasn't. I felt like I was in a movie, y'all. I felt like it was a movie, and I was just like, this can't be really what happened, because I just seen this person yesterday. You know what I mean? You're so used to people dying because of old age, and it's my dad was 33. You know what I mean? He was a very young man, and who spent most of his life incarcerated. So it's childhood trauma. But anyway, when it comes to that, like I said, I had an issue with knowing the difference between real and fake, real life and some pretend story. And also I just got really detached. I didn't really know how to organize my feelings. I didn't know where to put the grief. I didn't know where to put the hurt. I didn't know where to put the disappointment. I didn't know where to put the anger. I didn't know where to put it anywhere. So I was really depressed. It was my 9th grade year. I was really, really depressed. And like most kids, I slept. That's one thing about me being an introvert, is that when I turn too into myself, I can already be to myself, but when I turn too into myself, it can be dangerous for me. So, yeah. But I slept. I swear I slept probably that whole 9th grade year. I slept when I was at school. I slept when I came home, because I could not understand and process the entire situation. And, you just learn how to cope throughout time. And I just was really detached to people. I was I can't feel anything for you, because I haven't decided how I felt about that. It really messed with a lot of my relationships, because I couldn't connect with people. And then I had really, really crazy anxiety leaving the house. You know, I had crazy anxiety when my mom left. I had crazy anxiety when I went to college because I'm like, oh my God, like I'm not here with my brothers. I'm not here with my sisters. What if they need me? What if I need them? You know, and you really start to cripple yourself. And that was really major in my childhood trauma. Even with my dad not being there, that was traumatic because, you know, you see everybody else with their dad and it's like, oh, like I gotta wait to go visit him next week. And, you know, he can't come home and, you know, just, you know, trying to grow up and understand things. But childhood trauma is real, y'all. Childhood trauma is so real. And I remember when I was in high school and I tried to go to therapy and I was like, oh my goodness, he is trying to get all in my business. Like, I don't even know him. And I really feel like now looking back on it, I probably would have been more receptive to a therapist doing talk therapy if that therapist was Black, if she was a Black woman, if it was a Black man, you know what I mean? And at that time, this was back in 2007, at that time, you know, Black therapists and stuff, it was kind of like offensive to request a Black therapist. Like, if you need help, go get help, you know? And I didn't feel comfortable. I didn't feel safe. So I didn't. And it really caused a lot of issues with my relationships and, you know, just my family life. You know, it really did. It really did. Especially when the detachment hit. That detachment, damn. I didn't want to care about somebody else and lose them again. And that was pretty fucking heavy for me. But one thing I can say is that I made it. I fucking made it, y'all. It was hard. It was hard, especially in high school. I just used to party. I was just smoking and drinking and just partying, just like, oh, like, let me just have a good time. And then, you know, life hits you when it's time to graduate and it's like, you need to get your shit together. But anyway, look, I'm going on a rant about me. I'm supposed to be talking about childhood trauma. But, you know, the childhood trauma really, you know, it can be really devastating when you don't have the tools to help yourself or to help your children or anybody, any child or even yourself now, you know, trying to address your childhood trauma. But one thing I can say that helped me was talk therapy. When I just was able to sit down and talk to somebody about how I was feeling, that was everything. When I felt safe, that was everything. And like I said, I have tried Reiki before as well, and it just helps you to balance your energy. I would say definitely y'all do y'all research, talk to more people. I will definitely do my best efforts to tag, well, she is not on social media, to post her business card and everything to my Reiki practitioner, because she is still practicing. She is everything. She really is. She's a beautiful light that helped me when she has helped me tremendously. Talk therapy, Reiki, and sitting with God, you know, sitting with myself. Sometimes you really just need to sit with yourself and let your spirit talk to you. You know what I mean? Like, and man, it's crazy. There have been times where I'm just sitting, I'm just crying, I'm thinking about songs that we played together and stuff, and it'll be like, everything's okay. You know what I mean? You survived everything. Anything that life threw your way, you survived, and you can't control everything around you. All you can control is your reaction to it. That's the only thing you have in control of, is how you react to it. And I was like, I really need to, let me tell you what I did for myself. Okay, those are the 3 resources, right? But let me tell you what I did for myself. I literally had to sit down, write out how I felt about everything I made. Making music, listening to things. Music therapy is healing. Let me tell you. Everybody know that though. Music therapy is healing. Put that shit in a song. Oh my gosh, my brother wrote some amazing songs just about, dealing with our, loss of our father and everything like that. And I listen to those because I'm like, I know he knows the same hurt I'm going through. You know what I mean? I definitely had more years with my father, but he knows that same, that emptiness, that wanting answers, the wanting things to be better, the wanting to talk to that person. He knows all of those things. So it's so therapeutic when I listen to him. Like, dude is amazing. But what I really had to do was I had to sit down and decide. I had to decide, what are you going to do with these feelings right here? And the best thing for me was to write them out. I wrote a letter to my dad. I spoke to my dad. And I was just like, I love you, but I have to get up because I kept living my life like I was that same 14-year-old girl. You know what I mean? Just helpless, like waiting for her dad to come home, and he never showed up. And it's like, I really had to write out how I felt and decide that I was going to get up and be present now. Not only be present for myself because I deserved it, was also because I wanted to give that to my children. Sometimes our trauma will bleed into our life right now. It's like things that happened to us at 6 and now we're 30. So we done spent 24 years. Ain't that crazy? That's fucking crazy to me. We spent 24 years trying to decide what we want to do about those feelings and everything. But I feel like everything happened when it was supposed to. I'm grateful for my journey. I'm grateful for my process and everything. But I just had to decide that that is something that happened. I have to accept that that happened. I still love him, but I have to get up and keep living life. I am, I always I'm one of those people, like, I don't care. My granny transition, I talk to my granny like my granny don't play about me. I love my granny. You know what I mean? My daddy don't play about me. I love my daddy. So for me, that spirit still lives with me because I am them and they are me, And I get to see my brothers, which look just like my dad. And, just talking to different family members and stuff. When you have that family around you, that makes such a big difference. But it really wasn't until I made that decision that I don't want to carry that around no more. It was heavy. Grief is heavy. Grief is fucking heavy, y'all. And I'm telling you, like, when you decide to put that grief down and say, you know what? I accept that this happened. There's nothing that I can do to change what happened. It's already happened. The best thing I can do for myself is to keep my head up and be happy. Keep your head up and be happy and move forward. That was one thing I never got help with grief. See, the thing is, in my family, whether it was on my mama's side or my daddy's side, I can't say which one was more. But when somebody died, we get a bottle. You go to the gravesite, you drink, you smoke, it wasn't no talking about how you felt. It wasn't no organizing your feelings. It wasn't no, you're finding out this triggered me. How do I stop my triggers? All this language and all these different tools that I came across, those things happen later in life. But that turning point, that pivoting moment for me was when I decided, where am I going to put these feelings? And maybe that's just a Taurus in me because I'm calculated like that. But I just really was like, I choose happiness. I choose love. He wouldn't want me sitting here being sad about it. You know what I mean? He wouldn't want me to do anything like that. He wants me to be happy. I want to be happy. So I had to decide to put that hurt and everything down and just move forward with love. I was like, okay. Oh my goodness. I'm big on, writing down my feelings and leaving it to the universe. I'll write it down, go ahead and burn it and be done with it. Go ahead and burn it and be done with it, because it's something like that for me when I can write down exactly how I feel and I just leave it to the universe. I leave it to God to figure out, because I know for me, trying to solve that mystery, trying to solve that the situation, it just brought more grief and more anger and hurt, and it didn't help me. It just buried me. So in order to revive myself, in order to live my life, in order to bring my energy back, I had to put that grief down. I had to put that hurt down. And I had to say, I accept what happened. I love him. I love my grandmother. I love all my ancestors that transitioned. And the best thing for me to do is to choose happiness. But I can't sit here and lie like I didn't first try to mask it. I didn't first try to smoke it off and, drink it off and party it off and just neglect how I felt. I did that for years and years and years and years. But the best thing that I did for myself was decided that I was going to be happy. Decided to organize those feelings and put them where they belong and not let it drag me every single day. So I encourage people to do talk therapy. I encourage people to, do your research when it comes to Reiki, and also give it a try if that is something that is on your heart. Definitely writing it down. Oh my goodness, the art that I made. I paint. So I just used to paint however I was feeling, and that gave me a release. Crying gave me a release. Writing it out, journaling, talking to people. It's so many different things we can do for our childhood trauma. Don't just try one. You can try many things, but also, if you need to, go ahead and get a therapist. I wouldn't say a psychiatrist, because I don't believe people need medicine to stabilize them, but that's neither here nor there. But that is what I would suggest. Try different ways to heal yourself, but sometimes it just takes sitting with it. Sitting with those feelings and those emotions and figuring out what you're going to do. Like, okay, yeah, I'm sad right now because this didn't go my way and I felt like this person should be here and everything. But okay, what you going to do now? That happened in 2007. It's 2022. What now? Well, now I choose love. I choose happiness. And I choose to talk about those difficult things with my children now. So if they experience those things, or when they experience those things, it'll be less of a blow. You know what I mean? It'll be more easier for them to comprehend and understand. Just like I was saying before, like, it's good to evaluate where you are so you know where you're going to go. So that is my take on childhood trauma. Please, please, please like, comment, and share, and subscribe. Also, if you have, any suggestions when it comes to holistic self-care that can be able to help with your childhood trauma, please comment below. Comment below. This is all about sharing. I want to share information. I want to share experiences. I don't want to be the only one that got the tools to help and heal people. I want y'all to have them too. So, like I said, please like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, see y'all later. Bye.